Rain poured hard against the glass walls of the city's tallest office building, the kind of storm that felt like it was washing the world clean or maybe warning it of something dark to come. Inside that building, power and greed had their own kind of thunder, and that's where it happened. A woman who fought her whole life to prove herself, cornered. Two men, drunk on arrogance and money, thought they could break her. But fate had a way of sending angels in unexpected forms. That night, her savior wasn't a bodyguard, wasn't a lover, he was a single father who just wanted to clean his hands before heading home to his daughter. And when he opened that door, everything changed. Ava Malik was the youngest female CEO in the city's history. 28 years old, sharp as lightning, and beautiful in a way that made people underestimate her until she spoke. Her company, Luminar Tech, was her heart and soul. She had built it from her mother's small laptop after her mother died of cancer, promising herself she'd make something that mattered, but the higher she climbed, the lonelier it became. The boardroom wasn't a place of allies, it was a field of predators wearing ties. Tonight, she stayed late after a conference, going over investor reports in the quiet corner office. Her reflection in the glass looked tired, but proud. She didn't know that two of her biggest investors, Ahmed and Faisal, had stayed behind too. They had plans, but not the kind that involved spreadsheets. When she stepped into the hallway, heels clicking softly, they intercepted her near the executive restroom. Ava, Ahmed said with a smile that didn't reach his eyes. We need to talk. Privately. I've already sent the proposal, you can review. Not that kind of talk, Faisal interrupted, his breath thick with alcohol. You've been ignoring our requests. Maybe it's time you showed a little appreciation. She tried to walk past, but they blocked the way. Her voice was steady, but her heart was racing. Move. Ahmed chuckled. Don't make a scene. No one's here. We just want to talk. They pushed her gently at first, but when she resisted, the grip tightened. One of them shoved the bathroom door open and forced her inside. The cold tile, the harsh lights, her mind screamed for help, but her voice caught in her throat, and that's when another door opened. Ryan Ahmed, 34, a construction foreman and single dad, had come to the building to deliver renovation plans to the facilities manager. He was late, exhausted, and just wanted to wash the dust off his hands before heading home to his little girl, Alina. He didn't expect to walk into that moment, didn't expect to see a terrified woman struggling against two men twice her size. For a second, time froze. Then he moved. Without thinking, Ryan charged forward, grabbing Faisal by the collar and slamming him against the wall. What the hell do you think you're doing? He roared. Ahmed turned, but Ryan's fist found his jaw before a word came out. Years of labor had built his strength, and now it burned with fury. Ava stumbled back, trembling, clutching her wrist where Ahmed had grabbed her. Ryan stood between her and them, chest heaving. You touch her again, he said, voice low and shaking with rage, and I swear you won't walk out of here. Security arrived minutes later. Ahmed and Faisal tried to twist the story, but the cameras and Ava's resolve destroyed their lies. They were escorted out, humiliated. The building that had always felt like a cage suddenly felt like a battlefield. Ava had survived, but as the night went quiet again, she turned to Ryan, the man who had walked in at the worst possible moment, but somehow exactly when she needed someone. Thank you, she whispered. Her voice broke, but her eyes didn't. He shrugged, awkward, his hands shaking. Didn't do anything special. Just couldn't walk away. The next few days changed both their lives. Ava couldn't stop thinking about him, not because he saved her, but because he didn't ask for anything in return. Everyone in her world always wanted something. Ryan just wanted to get home to his daughter. She visited him at the construction site a week later. He was surprised to see her covered in dust, wearing his old work gloves. I wanted to thank you properly, she said. Maybe take you to dinner. He smiled faintly. I'm not really the dinner type. But Alina loves pizza if that counts. That night, Ava sat at a small table in Ryan's modest apartment, eating pizza with him and his 7-year-old daughter. She laughed more than she had in months. There were no suits, no contracts, just warmth, but the world doesn't forgive women like Ava easily. The media got wind of the assault. Rumors spread, not about the men who hurt her, but about her. CEO involved in scandal, the headlines read. Investors pulled out. The board whispered about removing her. When the pressure became unbearable, Ava broke down one evening in Ryan's car, crying into her hands. Maybe they're right, she said. Maybe I don't belong in that world. Ryan looked at her, this woman who fought harder than anyone he knew, and said quietly, then make a new world. One where no one can take it from you. Those words changed everything. Ava resigned from Luminar Tech the next day. The world called it a downfall. But a year later, she launched Soulrise, a startup focused on safety tech for women, panic bracelets, emergency response AI, and anonymous reporting systems for workplace harassment. Ryan joined as operations head, using his background to handle logistics and build their first manufacturing facility. Their story spread like wildfire, not as a scandal, but as a revolution. Two people from opposite worlds, broken by circumstance, building something that would protect others from breaking. And as they stood at the launch event, Alina holding Ava's hand, Ryan looked at her with quiet pride. You know, he said softly, walking into that bathroom was the worst timing of my life. Ava smiled, eyes glistening. No, Ryan. It was perfect timing. Because sometimes the worst moments lead to the best beginnings, and sometimes heroes aren't born in light, but in the dark corners where no one's watching.